As you talk together about why plant new churches, you possibly listed some ideas that are not here on page 6 of your conversation guide. And those ideas will be really significant to you as a church planting team. But how did you prioritise this list of reasons for planting new churches? And what did you think of some of these concepts? We have learned that to hand on faith to the next generation of believers, we need to engage young people in the journey of planting new churches. How did you prioritise that particular concept? The way to hand on faith to the next generation. And what about the idea that church planting puts us in touch with our New Testament and our faith heritage, reminding us of our origins as church planting movements? Now we want to turn our attention to a theological frame on page 7 of our conversation guides. Church planting flows from God's heart. It flows from his very triune being and activity. The Father, his relationship to the Son, his relationship to the Spirit, and the relationship of all three persons of the one Godhead. Church planting flows from the heart and the mind of God. God gave himself as a sacrifice for us. God's kingdom vision encompasses all of us living in fellowship with him. Jesus came into this world, the incarnate Son of God, God made flesh. He became one with us. God, the temple of God, became one with us so that we might participate in this relationship with God and be the temple of God on earth, the body of Jesus Christ. The oneness of Christ is to be reflected in the whole concept of church, and together as one body, we're all priests to engage in the priestly duty of leading people to know Jesus Christ. What a privilege to participate in the journey of disciple making and church planting. One author has said, every believer is to be a disciple maker, and all are to be involved in the journey of church planting. So, in your groups, I'd like you now to spend the next 20 minutes discussing this whole concept of a theological frame for church planting. This will really undergird you as a church planting group for your task, the task ahead of planting a multiplying church. You'll work through the application questions on page 7. In what way is incarnation to shape our engagement with our communities? The incarnation of God. God became one with us in Jesus and moved into our neighbourhoods. How is that concept of us being deeply involved in our neighbourhoods to shape our church plants? How will God's cruciform nature and sacrifice, the fact that God defined himself by the cross in Jesus on the cross, his crucifixion, how will God's cruciform nature and commitment to us in sacrificing for us shape our church plant? And how will these theological insights inspire and shape what you're going to do? You're going to spend 20 minutes in a group doing this, and then you'll reflect and pray together, and we look forward to seeing you in session 2 for planting churches.